I think there are few things less enviable in life than speaking after Vernon Jordan. I've had to do it before, so this is a movie I've been to, and apologies. But actually, let's give another round to Vernon Jordan. Definition of the term national treasure, right there. So again, thanks, Vernon, and importantly, thank you to Nick, the Vera Institute. I'm humbled to be here on behalf of Google, and congratulations to the other honorees. What you're doing to support social justice is amazing. So Vera, you've been at this for a while. Your five decades of pushing for correct the systemic impediments to justice is really inspirational, and it's really humbling. And for a company to be able to contribute to those efforts, it's really an honor. All of you at Vera, the other honorees, and many of you out here tonight have been fighting very hard for social justice. All of you have your hand on the moral arc of the universe, and you're bending it toward justice. And we at Google thank you for that. Now, unlike Vera, which has a really long and really well chronicled kind of history of this work, Google just started at this. We only began our work in the philanthropic area like this maybe a few years ago. And 3 years ago, actually, led by Justin Steele, who's sitting over here. Justin's around. Justin works for Google.org and leads our efforts in this area. And 3 years ago, with his leadership, we embarked on an effort to support racial and social justice organizations. And what started out as a round of grants, maybe $5 million or so, has now turned in, as Vernon said, to something that's north of $30 million. And we're going to do more. And as we waded into this work, we met Brian Stevenson, who came to Google in one of the most emotional and most amazing all-company events, and everybody was there. And people piped in from the East Coast, they piped in from Asia to hear him speak about this live. We met Brian, and he enlightened us on the uncomfortable connection between racial justice and criminal justice. And he challenged us to be proximate to the people who are suffering from injustice. And since then, we've been trying to heed that call. And whether it's through our philanthropy efforts or convening criminal justice town halls in our many offices around the country and the world, or using our YouTube platform to highlight the plight of women who are behind bars, or creating small documentaries like the one we did for the commission to close Rikers Island. We've been trying to do our best to use the platform that we have to shine a light on what's wrong and to try to lift up the work of those who are really fighting hard to do what's right. So many people ask me, why is Google doing this stuff? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It's the right thing for a company like ours to do. But it's also essentially completely in alignment with our company, sort of our core mission and our core ethos. We've always wanted to do something good for the world. We've always wanted to disrupt with innovation, with technology, with new things. So through knowledge and technology, we've always believed, back in 1998 when I met these two 24-year-olds and they said they had some sort of company thing they were thinking about in their garage. Actually, it wasn't their garage, it was their dorm room. So it was before the garage. But even then, they thought they wanted to do something that had an impact in the world. And the thing they cared most about was actually, how do we get this out to the world? And they weren't certain they wanted to do a company. They said, well, maybe it's better to do a foundation. Maybe it's better to do a research project or something. Ultimately, they decided a company was the right way to go. but the company has always wanted to have an impact. And now that we've had this business success, we realize we have a responsibility, and we're going to meet that responsibility to do more and more with the blessings that we've been given with this great business that we've built. So our criminal justice grant making is part of that, and it's focused on achieving equal justice through improved data science, technology, the things that we do well. We've got Google engineers who volunteer. They've volunteered months of their time to work with the grantees of our programs to figure out new data science approaches, to figure out how we can apply technology to make some change. If you don't measure things, if you don't have the information, if you don't have the data, you'll never change them. And that's the hope that's behind our partnering with Vera in the In Our Backyards program. We want to show that rural counties around the country that they too have a role to play in the nationwide epidemic that is mass incarceration. And empowered with that information and with the help of stalwart champions like Vera, it's our belief that we can finally break our society's over-reliance on putting people in jail and in prison. And as Vernon said, he kind of stole my thunder here, but as he said, there is no institution that's more worth disrupting than the criminal justice system. So, Vera, thank you once again. We look forward to continuing this work together, and we are honored to be part of this tonight. So on behalf of Google, thank you, and have a great night, everyone.